Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream, the AI winning edition. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Corporations are winning. Are you going to be winning along the way? Get on the bandwagon now. Own versus not owning anything, because the number one thing already is AI nobody owns. What do you own if you do something in AI, though, is the question. Do you know what it is? Because the rules are about to be changed and it's an ongoing rule investigation, and you know who's going to try and win. The usual suspects. Those with the most money are going to make the rules that benefits them. And they're the ones that get to bribe the senators, the congressmen, and government officials. So once again, you're going to have to play a little bit from behind or get in early. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you for being here because I am a little bit late. Another family engagement, but I'm here. Hopefully, you're here and you're going to watch this on the replay if some of you don't get this live. But the bottom line is AI is winning. It's replacing jobs. That's what I mean by winning. It's causing data centers to be built worldwide where citizens are losing, because that means it's sucking up water. That means it's leaving toxic chemicals in your soil, in your water. And therefore, that is a bad scenario. But that just means AI is winning. Who's going to control the AI? Like I started off, you guys tell me. If you don't think that the corporations are out here trying to figure out how they're going to be able to utilize AI in a mass situation, meaning you're going to have to rent, lease, buy temporary licenses and give them more money down the line every few years or every year or every month. So that's what has to be worked out. But let's just start off with the basics. The basics is this. If I have AI, I use prompts and I tell it to make a video, the video can be copied because you cannot copyright AI at the moment. I do not believe that's going to be a thing in the future. You know why? Because that would mean you have ownership. Therefore, they can't charge you later if you own it. Similar to like when you used to own your CDs, when you used to be able to just own your music. Same type of things. Own movies that you get to take home and watch whenever you want. That kind of stuff. We're in the same ball game again. Therefore, the corporations have to monetize it. So they will be coming out with all kind of AI platforms. And as you guys already know, there's Claude, there's the Google AI, there's a Copilot. Everybody has an AI. They're just setting you up for the kill. Because once you're on their system, you're using their system. So then they're going to be able to license it to you. Rent, ladies and gentlemen. Are you getting tired of the word rent yet? Well, therein lies the problem. So let me give you something to think about. So you wrote a book. Speaking of books, hold on now. I forgot since I haven't been here for a while. This book right here, one of the family IPs by my brother, Duran Drake. Star Cruiser Falcon. There's a series. There's a 1, 2, and 3. You can put this book into AI. It can create a movie. The problem is, since AI did it, That movie could generate a little money, but somebody else could actually recreate it in a different storyline, different ending, same characters. And guess what? Duran Drake and family gets nothing. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Because we can't copyright this since it's AI at the moment. You can copyright this book. This is intellectual property. AI is not at the moment because you put in prompts. You wanted to go the easy route. You might have some ideas. So now, again, it can be stolen. But like I said, what would you do if you're a corporation? AI winning for corporations, I would say, hey, wait a minute. How did you produce that? You produced it on our platform, our software. We get licensing fees or money. Take your pick. And every year you're going to be paying. You see where this goes, ladies and gentlemen? So therefore, you better get up on some game. You might want to produce your own AI engine. Yes, that would be a thing to do, potentially. Then you can be like corporations. You could be like any of the cell phone companies. You use our stuff, we can charge you. You can be like an app store like Google and Apple. Get in-app monies coming in, we get to charge 30%. You're using our software. You're using our app store. See how this works, ladies and gentlemen? Renting. But are you going to be on the lower rung of the renting platforms, or are you going to be on the higher rung? Everybody right now, it's free for all. You can have your own businesses. You can start your own AI company. You can do whatever you want. But the point is, ownership versus not owning is the key here tonight. And ownership I've been talking about. Let me see if there's anybody in the house tonight. Let's see. I have, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. I haven't even got to the start of this. Remember, everybody, get to findhelp.org. If you need help out here, findhelp.org. Go over there, put in your zip code. You will be shocked what you can get as citizens of the United States that the United States won't even tell you about. Lots of you need lots of help from findhelp.org. Matthew Lesko, he's the man, late night infomercials for 40, 45 years, maybe 50 by now, has the question marks on his suits, the hair that's, what is that, frizzy top hair, spikes. He does it, ladies and gentlemen. He's still helping people. That's why I tell you, go to Let's Go Help if you want to go with the 20, 30, 40,000 people that help other people get grants and get free money that the government has. These guys help each other, and there's lots of people over there. That's a membership site, though. Otherwise, findhelp.org is free. You can go there right now. So go over there, show some love. Post-retirement travels in the house. He's trying to accumulate more assets. Real estate, stocks, equities, bonds, all these things are assets that you need to own. You can't let the rich guys have all this stuff because that's their private playground. You think the stock market's going up every year by accident? Let's get real. It's because the rich guys own it. You want to join and ride their coattails. Don't sit out here not owning what they own. That's how this goes. Just so you know, now more than ever, this isn't 20, 30 years back where there was corporations that, paid people livable wages, had a pension, had health care covered. Oh no, this is now, ladies and gentlemen. Them days are almost over. You're out here fending for yourself like a third world country it's supposed to be. And therefore, that keeps the rich getting richer. Now, post-retirement travel, once again, thank you so much for being here with that icon next to your name, which I humbly appreciate because some of you don't know. That means he's a member of the channel, showing his financial support, which I greatly appreciate. And his support being here tonight brings his tagline, hello all, let's do this. That's what we do out here. We try to help you, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. Get your pen, pads, and papers ready because you never know when somebody's going to come with something crazy. Tamara Larry's in the house. She likes ownership. She owns real estate. She owns other things, I'm sure. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. And she brings her simple tagline, hello all. That's it. Simple, succinct. Hello, all. Make sure you guys get on the bandwagon. This AI thing is about to obliterate people. It's about to be so bad on all kind of fronts, as I talked about in the intro. When we're talking about water that they need for the data centers to promote this AI, that's a problem. And that water is gone and it's turned into toxic water. And now it goes into your soil, which now means your soil is toxic, which now means your food supply is about to be effed up. And by the way, did I say your body needs water? So if you don't have fresh water, good luck. Any human on the planet, you can see where this goes, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, those who do not have money to be able to move about, maybe live inside the country, outside the country, you're going to be in trouble unless something changes. Unless we have a knight in shining armor that all of a sudden emerges. I don't know who that's going to be, but whoever that person is, he's coming to save you. He better hurry up because it's almost over. Again, this coincides with all of our timelines. And here we go. Post-retirement travel is saying, using Claude inside a Robinhood agentic account, it has been very useful to screen prices and for doing trades. However, Claude, like all AI platforms, have limitations. You need the paid version. He's already started off with point number one. They know what they're doing. He's exactly right. The paid version is going to be a lot better than the free version. And the paid version is going to be good unless you're going to pay a higher amount for a higher version. Now, all of a sudden, better. And then there's going to be another best. Just remember that. Because just remember one thing in the golden rule when it comes to competition. If you're going to be partners with somebody else, are you really going to give them the best performance pieces that you have? Or are you going to give them to your competition so they can turn around and possibly beat your ass? I don't think so. So, of course, they're never going to give the top tier. Ever. And what people don't understand is this AI only learns. It's learning machine, basically. So if it gets garbage in, that means it can give garbage out. Just remember this. AI is a tool for good and evil. There's always going to be evil. And there's always going to be somebody out here that's going to be a corporation that's going to say, you know what? We need to put some things in there where AI kind of gives the wrong answer occasionally because nobody's going to check this stuff out. And we can give them a little bit of wrong info and they might go down another rabbit hole, which will keep us ahead of the game. See how this works. I don't know what country you think you live in, but if you think it's free capitalism and free enterprise, you've lost your frickin' mind. It's never been that. But we got a lot of people believing it. So once again, time to get on the platforms, time to get there. And yes, I played with Claude. I only do free. And I was not impressed. Claude works a little bit differently. I had to actually make corrections. And like I've said before, I don't trust AI that much because who made AI is the same industries trying to get your information as we speak. As you're watching this right now, they're sending their spiders and web crawlers through your web phones and through your desktops and tablets to see what your habits are, getting your information unbeknownst to you. That's their whole game plans, to make sure you're utilizing their stuff so then they can infiltrate even more. That's how this is working. And they're studying you, your habits, what you do. That is worth $1 gazillion. So you don't think that AI isn't tracking something. They claim they're not, but we know better than this. Come on now. You live in a police state. You always have. Let's get real. Juan Ballinger in the house on another platform. Very, very happy to see you once again. Thank you so much for your support and being here. Make sure no matter where you're watching from, smash those like buttons. Smack the check boxes. Smash the hearts. Smash the stars, smash the box, whatever it is, make sure you hit the like and give some love, because you know the suppression and oppression is real. But it does not matter, because when you have skill sets, it never matters. Everybody on the podcast channel, make sure you do the same. Hit the likes, hit the stars, hit the checks, hit the boxes. It does not matter. Do show some love. All right, let's keep moving, because this is exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be paid versions, rent, license. Oh, and don't forget, you're going to be able to license different modules, just like, you guys heard of gaming, haven't you? What happens in games? There's always something you can buy inside of games, right? So I hear. I don't really play games. All I know is I see in-app, paid in-app stuff. I'm assuming they're going to do that in games. That's the perfect type of thing. You can have people play games and you can charge them for weapons, for castles, whatever. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen. You already have a playbook. They have the playbook on you, and you're going to do it. You're going to rent. You're going to play around. You're going to keep giving them money as they get richer and richer and control your government. Cities, states, make the rules, and you rent for life. They're coming for your houses now. Just saying. Property taxes, insurance. They're coming for your houses now. Just saying. It's going down. You live in a third world country. You don't know it yet. Let's go. All right, Brian P., Mr. Dividends in the house, ownership on tap. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Happy day, Eric. I hope all is well with you and your family. Thank you so much. Everything's looking up. Happy day, SSN. Smash that like button. That's right. Give it a one piece. That's right. We love that. Thank you so much, Brian P. Check your email. I knew he was going to say check my email. Look, we have the golden goose. I can't really log in anymore. I don't even know what's up. It's always something. It's always something with this internet these days. Blockage, one way or another. I have a business account, which I'm going to have to change up all this, quite frankly. I'm going to have to move with the big boys right now. No more GoDaddy crap. No more none of that. I'm going to have to go play with the big boys. The big boy servers. I think I'm just going to have to go hang there. Because this stuff is just ludicrous what's happening out here. Like I said, I got no love. In case you guys are new here, I have no love for GoDaddy anymore. I've had GoDaddy forever since their inception. But these guys, they got to my last nerve when I have malware for the 50th time. And now I can't log in again. For the 50th time, not the 50th, I'm exaggerating. About over the last 30 years, it's probably been about 4 or 5 times. And all those times I would always wipe it. They would pay for it for security and do all this crazy stuff, right? And so it happened again. And when the person told me, oh, well, you got to give us $300 for security if you want us to get that malware off. And I said, hold on, you own the servers, don't you? Yes. I'm paying you for hosting, which means you're supposed to have a secure server. Why? I didn't bring the malware, nor did I allow the malware. You're the one with the servers. You're the one that's supposed to have security protocols, so you don't have viruses and malware. I didn't upload anything. I haven't uploaded anything in 7 months, 9 months. So therefore, don't try to act like it's me. So the plugins, whatever it is, it's on your platform. You need to make sure. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, you have to remember, there's people that know how servers actually work. You should not have, let me ask you something. Let's just put it plain and simple. If I go to AWS, they have breaches. That's Amazon. They have breach, right? Okay. If you're not protecting your servers, then what the hell are you doing? What are you doing out here? Don't worry, though. We coming to kick their ass. That's all I can tell you right now. Check out your email, Brian P. I know what you're going to say. Can you play that video from your email? Uh-oh. We got a video. No, I can't. I can't log in, man. I can't log in. I can't even get there. If I can't get on my phone, let me see if I can get online. I mean, I could play it if I can download it. But I just got to get out of these clown activities. I just can't even take it. I mean, this is like it's like America's like in 1995 or something. I'm like, this is just wild to me. There's nothing new. I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, if you were into computers 25 years ago and you knew how to do where you or 30 where you could have people go to an email and send it a code and do all this stuff. I mean, this is not new stuff. So for them to be this lame 20, 25 years later, I'm like, this is just so sad. And now I have to go through all gyrations just to get logged in because they always are going to get hacked. It's just ridiculous. Ay, 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 ay. What is this? What? This is sick. This is sick. Now they're giving me a QR code. Is this for real right now? Like they want me to do pass keys. Seriously? Ay, 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 man. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to go through all these gyrations when they could have just had a pass key system from the get-go. But no, they got to track you, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is what I'm saying. They got to track you. They got to be able to possibly get your login information. This is just so sick. So sick. No, not gonna. What? What are they trying to do? This ain't gonna work. Sorry, not gonna happen. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so I can't. Oh wait, what's this? No, 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 no. You're going to the wrong place. This is the wrong place. All right. Well, anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very simple out here. You're going to be the lunch. That's all it's going to be. You're going to be the lunch. You are the lunch right now. You're the people that the corporations are gaining more and more power. We have top 500, right? Fortune 500 corporations. Remember, most corporations are friends with other friends. They make sure that they're keeping everything so the competition is split. They don't mind competing, but they're not trying to kick each other's ass either. They're just sitting there going, oh, okay, they got AWS over here. We're going to use their S3 over there. They're just being like, oh, yeah, we have our servers, so you can be on our cloud infrastructure, like Microsoft has cloud, right? Amazon has cloud. Google has cloud services. So it's like, okay, you all got cloud services. You all have servers. You're all going to need data centers, which is toxic to humans and the environment. But they don't care about that. They just care about they're going to be hoarding all of the wealth. You guys do realize the top 10% of the wealthiest in the world own more than 50% of the world's population? Oh, I forgot to tell you. How about the top 10% owns 90%? Yeah. Did I get your guys' attention now? So you understand why I said the alarm buttons are set. Ownership is the only way you're going to be able to stay above board, because if you rent, I can always charge you as much rent as I want. When you need a job, because there's hardly any jobs, and there's a lot of people that are going to need jobs, then I will take the lowest bidder for the job. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have people that need a job, have skill sets to be paid $300,000, $250,000, but they're going to have to settle for, hey, I'll take the 60 G's. You see how this works? A race to the bottom? Because there's no incentive for corporations to pay more. Do you understand? All right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to get people from outside the U.S. to come here because they traditionally have less money, so I can charge them less than an American person. So we're going to do the H-1B program. Do you guys understand how this is working yet? Good luck. Right now, you have 5 months left to get your 775 credit score or higher. You have 5 months left to make sure you get real estate or business outside the United States. You have 5 months left to make sure you get a bank account outside the United States. We started this 2 years, 7 months ago. And how did you know this was going to happen? Because this is very easy to see. And now we have a second one. You got 1 year and a half to get your ownership paperwork in order. And I don't mean ownership such as your citizen papers. I'm talking about intellectual properties. I'm talking about trademarks. I'm talking about if you're smart enough to get patents, you better get copyrights. You better have everything so these guys can't take your stuff. Just remember, some of this stuff is going to be sitting on some servers. They're going to be sitting on other platforms. They're going to be acting like it's theirs, just like right now. We're streaming on several platforms. Those platforms get to use advertising to run across the screen. Or advertising that's sitting here when you're watching from, let's say, YouTube, and it says there's a book you can buy. They get to make money off of that. They don't have to own anything in reality. They just give you a platform and they make money. And then they say, oh, we're going to give you 45%. We'll keep the other 55. Or worse, we'll keep 70%. You keep 30%. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, they can package up your stuff if they wanted to, because you already signed it, where they have every right to show your videos. They haven't gotten to that yet because they've still figured out how to add more ad inventory to come across your screen more ways than two. Instead of that pre-roll, they said, oh, don't worry. We're going to add something that shows up on the screen now that people can click on while the ad is running, which now means they get another payday. Do you understand how this is going? So if you think AI isn't going to win and shove you out, well, then you better get with the AI program. You better start learning something. It's going to be very bad. There's going to be a bloodbath worldwide. Either you're going to have to figure out how to use it, and even then, if you know how to use it, then what? Then what? You know how many people do not want to start a business because it's high risk? Do you also understand how many people will also increase competition because AI is going to tell them nearly the same thing they told you? That's going to be very interesting. So again, just like post-retirement travel was saying right now, when he said this right here, Robinhood agentic account, it has been very useful to screen prices and for doing trades. See this right here? So imagine you have Copilot doing the same thing. Imagine if you have Google AI doing the same thing. Microsoft AI, Google AI, all the big boys, Yahoo AI, whoever, all these guys who have AI. ChatGPT, whoever. Grok. All of them will be doing the same thing. There's no difference. AI is winning. The rich guys are winning. And they control the AI machine. And I'll say it again. Just like NVIDIA, who had those amazing chips, and they said, hold on, we're not going to give you the Gen version we're using, but we'll give you the Gen version that's down below of what we're using. Because therefore you could be kicking our ass. You guys could make innovations if you had our stuff. We want to make you work to get up to our stuff. You can't spend billions of dollars. So therefore you're just going to have to buy this stuff down here while we're still well ahead. In case you come up with something innovative, we've got to be able to catch up quickly. We can't let you surpass us this easy. So this is the same rules that's going to be in place with AI. So you got to be cognizant of this. And therefore you have to own something and make them come get you. That helps. Or you use their platform to make money. But you own it, so therefore you're getting paid not just from one thing, but maybe 2 or 3 things. Hopefully people understand and get where I'm coming from. Brian P., I might need your help. Let me see something. Wait a minute. Am I going to be able to log in? Is this for real? Oh. No. not logging in. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. Ah, this is so lovely. This is lovely. Yeah, I can't log in. So I won't be able to see the video. Um, let's see here. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to do something else while I'm thinking about it right now because Bankus right now is growing. I got to talk about Bankus because you guys should not miss tomorrow's uh, Zoom calls. You should not miss that. And I would greatly appreciate if you download the link because you get credit for other people downloading your link, which takes you to sign up for the app. This is a crypto Visa debit card, or you can send yourself or others money in-house on the Bankus app. They charge zero fees when you send money to each other. Zero fees to send, zero fees to receive. But it has to be crypto. So I'm going to put this down below because you could actually make money at this too. It's a 3-level deep network marketing type of thing. But it's referral marketing basically. Somebody uploads crypto, you get a little piece of it. Somebody transfers, you get nothing. Somebody buys a card, you get commission. So it's that simple. And right now they're having competitions, which I haven't really talked about. They're going around the world to have meetings. So that's why you should be in their WhatsApp. But you should check out tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You should check them out because it's going gangbusters because there's people that's in it to make money and refer people. There's people in it that actually use crypto for trading or crypto for other things and get paid in crypto. So this comes in handy when you have a Visa or MasterCard debit card, and it has online digital card as well, and it allows you to block. The app is pretty good. You can block using it or block your card from being able to be used, which is a good thing, and unblock it on demand. That's a little security features that I can get with. They do all kind of things. So again, go check them out, ladies and gentlemen. This is the future. It's happening right there. Yes, if I can download the video, I can play it once again. It could be done. Hey, Eric, did you see the boat capsize in San Francisco? No, I did not. But I'm not shocked by any of this. Again, when you have deregulation, when you have people who don't care about life, if people don't care about taking all the water and they don't care about toxic water and toxic soil, and that you have bad food that you're taking, our government allows it, what makes you think they're going to care about any safety measures? So a boat capsizing in San Francisco is no shock. And unfortunately, if there's people on board, the water is like 55 degrees, 50, and volatile. You will be dead in 15 to 20 minutes from hypothermia if you don't get out the water. Your body's going to freeze up. So again, this is not very good. This is bad news. The Dominican Today newspaper today shows this article. Larimar City and Resort draws strong investor interest at SEMA 2026. Yeah, it's a fair. This was a leading international real estate fair. They're rolling. Yeah, post-retirement travel, they're doing advertising the same thing. They've been running around the world. They've been to Merced. They've been to Barcelona. They've been to the EU. They've been to Colombia. They've been to Brazil. And they go to these fairs because basically they need to sell outside. The American buyers are done. The Canadian buyers are pretty much done. So where are you going to get buyers from? They traipse around the world selling this project. I don't know. They have. You can go see on their Larimar City Instagram. You'll see they have a booth. They have a nice booth and all that, but they're gonna have 5 to 10 people that has to get on airlines, who's got to stay at the hotels, who's got to eat, who's going around doing all this stuff. So no, that's just marketing. Anybody can do this. They're at the Miami show as well. They're at the Orlando show. They're at the New York show. They're all over the place. They're marketing. That's all they're doing. Now, said this before. They built the pool area a la Primavera owner. He does the same thing. Build a pool, build a lake, build whatever. Then people get excited when in fact, when's it going to be delivered? Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, that's what they did. They used the same marketing playbook, just like Vistacana. They built those man-made beaches and lakes originally. So people come in, same thing, the beach, before they even built one section, one building. They created a beach. And then for the last 5 years, 7 years, they're now getting close to finishing just the first part of the first beach and the condo hotels, which was going to be a hotel. Now it's a condo hotel, and pool area. All that's just now getting ready to be finished up after 7 years of selling. And that's why they did it as well, so they could sell more units when they built the beach. That's been tried and true. And they're not doing anything any differently, nor is it bad. It's just that when they finish their first building, and people, and the weirdest part, when they finish their first building, they'll be able to sell even more as they keep finishing buildings. But here's the thing. Where are they going to get the customers from? They've been on the clock since 2022. The buyers that would have been buying before, the USA citizens, Canadian citizens that would buy the most, they have a lot of sales already. But the problem is those people went back home and their people are talking to them in 2025 going, hey man, what happened? It's December 2025. How'd that place going? And they say, well, it's not built. Well, then what do you mean? Is it almost done? What's it look like? They're like, I don't know what it looks like. They don't send us out any updates. What do you mean? You paid for this back in 2022, right? It's 2026. And now you have to explain how you don't have delivery and you don't know what's going on. That's not a good look under any circumstance. So now you get your word of mouth is toast. And remember, there's realtors on the island that still says to this day, it's never going to be built. It's never going to happen while they're building stuff. But the point is, you have a large majority of realtors and sellers on the island that will say, don't buy there. There's other places you can buy. So that's a thing. So they have to go around the world. Like I said, go look at their feed. Go look at their feed on Instagram. You'll see them at all kind of trade shows all over the world. That's their MO. That's what they do. This is nothing new. That's marketing, though, for real estate worldwide nowadays. They just show whether it's renderings. And new people don't know their history. So new people come in, just like any project, new people roll in, don't know history, and they'll say, oh, we're going to finish this in December 2026. Knowing full well, if you're an SSN Nation member, we're saying, no, hell no, it's not. Not, no how, no way. So that's the type of thing why I don't get excited. There's other people that's at that same show that's going to be from DR. Same show. And there's people from other parts of the world that's in that same show trying to promote their project. So the fact is, sending a press release to Dominican Today to act like you're doing something, that's the game, right? So just like if you start a business and you want to release a press release and you go to a show and you can be at a show and you say, hey man, look at us, we're at a show. Okay, great. That doesn't mean anything, really. You paid to be in the show. Great. It's not like you're getting the booth based on your merits. It's not like these shows are based on merits. No, everybody in the show pays for a booth. You're paying to be there. So that doesn't mean anything to me. Definitely not since we know what it is. Remember, in case you don't know and you're new here, we have videos on the channel. This isn't like, we're not newbies. We've been around since the end of 2022. Here it is 2026 and they're still spewing and talking the same BS. It's going to be done December 2026. Just like it told us in 2023 and 2022. It'll be done September 2025. It'll be done December 2025. You don't believe. Now look, sad. All right, let's go. We don't, in fact, I don't even know what that SEMA 2026 is. All right, let's see what we got here. This isn't going to be too long, ladies and gentlemen, because we're talking about AI tonight. What are you using for AI? In fact, I'm still doing the experiment. I'm using AI free versions. Some work differently than others. Like I said, Claude free version, I don't really like it particularly. It's missing a lot of stuff. Like it still hasn't learned. It's basic stuff. You know what's bad is when you can hit, let's just say Google. Ask Google a question, not an AI. It will give you an answer. What's bad is if you ask the same question, let's example Claude or others, all of a sudden it gives you a different way of answering it with a slightly different variation based on some sort of belief or something. I can't figure out how they're doing this. But again, and what's worse is if you know the answer and you realize that AI is giving you some BS, because I've caught, well, there ain't nothing I can do. I literally, I like having fun. I go, come on, man, cut the BS. I'm talking to AI like a person. Cut the BS. You know that ain't going to work. And all they ever say is the same old usual. You're right. Nice catch. I'm like, of course, man. See, this is the difference. If you don't know if what they're saying is wrong, then you're going to proceed down a path of wrong. Tainted information is what I'll call it. That's exactly what it'll be. Because your premise is now flawed. And they're acting like that's correct info. Several times I've caught them going, hold on, man, this ain't right. You can't, this isn't going to cut it. This isn't going to pass copyright. You can't do this. Because remember, I'm messing around with AI. So I tell it about some AI stuff. And then it came back with, oh, yeah, you can copyright it. I was like, no, you can't. Good catch. I'm like, but if you didn't know that, you go down the path, you create stuff with AI, you go, oh my God, people are using my stuff. Look, they're using my video. They're doing all this stuff. You getting up in arms, not realizing, no, you don't own nothing. Unless you own something underneath that. So like if you do a video, AI video, and you narrate it with your voice. All right. Now, your voice, you can copyright the audio portion of this. That's an IP. You own it, right? But the video still cannot be owned by anybody because it was prompted by the AI machine, not human created. Right now, that's the rules. So anybody, they can't use your voice because then they owe you some money or a license. They need a sync license if they're going to play your video. But here's the other thing. They can take your voice off, put their voice on, and be the same video. Think about this. Now you see where we're going? So now other people can reproduce your works, the video portion, and change up what's underneath. They can put in their own music. They can do a whole bunch of stuff. And you can't stop them because it's AI generated. Just keep that in mind. But guess who else is going to win, though? The corporations. AI is winning because they're going to come back and say, hey, man, you released this. You don't have a license to release this to all kind of platforms. This was just for our platform license. Now that you want to release it all over the world, hold on, you owe us some money. We let you use it on our software, our engine. So we need a license fee for worldwide. That's a whole, hold on, that's a whole nother ball game. This was just for AI use in our platform. This wasn't supposed to be out there. That's what they're going to do, I believe. Come back to this video. I should pin all these things because I want to find out what's going to happen a year from now because they're going to have to settle this within the next year, year and a half. They can't wait around because AI is here. There's people making videos as we speak. There's people using AI music, voices, all this stuff, mimicking other people's voices. So it sounds similar to other people. They're doing this stuff. It all has to come to a head. There has to be some sort of ruling about this. And I know what the ruling is going to be because the rich guys got to keep their money. Let's just keep it straight. All right. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I was a little bit late this evening, a lot of bit late, because I was 30 minutes late to be exact. So I'm sorry. I appreciate you guys being here after the hours. We're not clear into late night edition, but I appreciate you coming here on Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Friday night, we'll be back in. Tomorrow, I'm going out to the start. This could be the start of, are we going to be able to kick their ass? There, I'm just going to say, I got to keep talking. I'll give you guys updates. So it looks like instead of 12, there's going to be 13 companies. Yeah, I know it's starting to get out of hand. 13 separate companies for this organization. And there probably is going to be more because there's a new lever that has occurred. And that lever means that could lead to other things. So another company or two. So this thing could come out the box with like 15, 16 companies. Right now, it could be 13. It will be 13 if I stopped right now. But there's going to be something else because this is a takeover. So therefore, there's probably going to be 15 before this is all said and done. And it's going to be all over but the shouting. And once again, everything I'm talking about is exactly what we're going to be doing too. You ain't going to be able to escape because there's no other way you can do it for the future. You're going to let people use our phones, right? Think about this, cell phones. What do they do right now? Oh, we're going to give you 3 updates. We're going to give you updates for 3 years. 4 years. After that, we're not going to update your phones anymore. So now, like, I'll give you a perfect example. I have a Note 9. I can't upgrade to Android 11 or beyond. I can't go Android 11 through 17. I can only get up to Android 10. So either I keep the phone and like it, which makes no sense, or I have to upgrade to another phone so I can get up to Android 15 at least, or 16 would be better, or 17 would be better with 2 upgrades, which means I can get up to Android 19 if I buy a new phone for $1,500, $2,000. You see what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen? $2,000 for a cell phone? $15,000 for some electronic equipment that's only this big? That's a travesty. And you know what? People are running out here buying. And eventually, I haven't gotten any updates, right? Now I'm vulnerable to certain things, so I have to get a new phone. How crazy is this? This is rental, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, there's always an exception where we can actually do something. But hey, if you like Apple, if you like Samsung, the top 2, you like Huawei, fine. But you know how this goes. Joe Nay in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation. Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He has his ownership papers sitting on the island. And again, brings a tagline. What's happening tonight, everybody? I hope everybody's well. I hope you are doing well, man. Thank you so much for being in the house. And he says he smashed that like button. That's right. He smashed that like button. We love it. Thank you so much for that. And everybody else out there, no matter where you're watching from, please smash that like button. That would be greatly appreciated. All right. We got the bank of stuff in there tonight. Joe Nay's here tonight. He's sitting there on the island. He can give us some updates, I'm sure, how things have been going. Hopefully he's been able to get out. I know he's been out. Hopefully he's been seeing some improvements around the East End, Punta Cana area, which has obviously blossomed into something larger. But are we going to have the people coming in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now? Are we going to hit a plateau where now all the extra building is for what? That's going to be very interesting. Overbuilding could happen. In fact, do you guys understand how business works? So if you want prices to be higher, you actually reduce inventory, limit the inventory, which apparently Dominican Republic's not trying to do because they're on the paper chase and they're thinking by building more, that that's going to create tourism more, which turns into more dollars. But it only turns into more dollars for the people that have built the resorts. The workers are still going to get paid Dominican working wages, except for a few people. So it doesn't change the game. They're not bringing manufacturing facilities where people are getting paid $20 an hour or even 15. So that's not changing the game. Of course, they want to bring data centers, like a third world country situation. Of course, they will. Mess up your fresh water, toxic chemicals in your soil. What could go wrong? It's only an island. This is where this goes. So once this plateaus with the tourism numbers, and now you have all these people going, well, we got all these places. What's going to end up happening? You're going to have resorts that close. You're going to have people that's going to say, I'm not even going to, I'll just give up my units or sell it for whatever I can get because I need out of here. I'm not really making that much money. Then there's going to be another part of people that bought in upscale luxury locations that's going to be sitting there going, well, I'm doing okay. Right, because that's where the top 10% hang out. That's why you always want upscale luxury. That's why AI is going to help you. All right, post-retirement travel says if you don't update your phone, the old one will become inoperable sooner or later. That's how they get you. That's exactly right. They'll jam you up one way or the other. That's exactly right. This all started from the early 2000s after the dot-com bust, because everybody used to own their stuff. But they realized one of the reasons for the bust was because once people owned it, they had their own timeline to upgrade or not. Because now it turned into, well, I don't have to upgrade my cell phone. I don't have to upgrade my laptop. I don't have to upgrade anything because my software works on anything, except not the phone, but any desktop, any laptop, anything. So they were like running out of revenues for the cost of innovation. So then in the early 2000s, they did exactly what they're going to do with AI. They said, hold on, man. You guys, stop the race with the RAM. Stop the race with the hard drives. We're going way too fast. Slow down. Slow down. There's no reason. We're all in this together. And what we're going to do now is we're going to charge people for the software monthly or annually. They don't get to own it. We don't want them sharing it no more. They don't own it no more. And by the way, we're not going to be on whatever we're on. If you're on Windows, end it now. Start a new Windows. If you're on Apple, end the Apple now. Start a new Apple iOS system to make sure, because from this point on, we're renting. They're going to have to pay us every month or every year. That way, we can control how many is available and charge them for. If you want 3 people in your family to have it, we can charge you $10 a month, $15 a month. See how this works? They're going to do the same thing with AI, ladies and gentlemen. Same thing they've done with streaming as well. They're not going to let you get a grip on this system. You think you have freedom through AI. You're not going to have freedom. They're just going to jack you. Construction at the airport. PUJ is being still going on, but it has changed. Yeah, it has changed. And it's going to keep changing. And this is what I'm worried about. Are they going to overbuild? Because again, they need 14 million. And the way I'm looking at the numbers right now, it's going to take them to get to 14 million. I don't see how this is happening. I think they're going to have 9.3 to 9.4 was my original target. If they get up to 9.5, that's fine. But that's still 4.5 million less than what they need. And they have no way to do 1 million. Even if they did 1 million a year, that would be that'll never happen. But the best case scenario, 1 million a year in 4 years would be 2030, 2031. And when that happens, they're even going to have more hotels, more real estate that has been purchased on the island. And therefore, you will not need just 14 million passengers per year. You're going to need 16. And if you can't keep up, it ain't going to happen. It's bad news. And that's what I think is going to happen. That's why I told you guys, if you're going to invest in Dominican Republic, you might go, oh man, it's too late. I can't buy stuff like they did in 2020 and 2019 and 2018. Yes, you can. It's going to happen. You don't have to worry. It's going to happen. The new Moon Palace Resort and expansion of the Hard Rock will boost another wave of tourism. You need to visit again. You won't recognize that area since last time you were there. I know. I've seen pictures. I've been like, where's this at? Because they have these other new condo complexes that I have never even seen before popping up inside Hard Rock. And yes, Moon Palace, I've seen what they've been doing. It's pretty sick. It is pretty sick. That is what Sony PlayStation is doing for the new system coming out next year. Exactly, Brian P. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. It's getting out of control right now. Now they got the audacity to say, just like the cell phones, we're going to update you for the next 2 years or 3 years. You get 3 updates. That takes a bunch of balls. After somebody buys something for $1,500, $2,000 a month, they go, oh yeah, we're just going to give you another 3 updates. That's it. And oh, by the way, since Google owns an app store for Google owns the Google App Store for Google products, Androids, and Apple owns iOS products for Apple. So they automatically, you're downloading the apps from their app stores 99% of the time. So now they tell the app companies, oh no, you need to be at Android 15. So now they get more money from the apps as well for the updates. How sick is this? This is just sick shit. All right? But this is where we go. So you're not going to own anything unless you own those corporations. And you're not going to be able to own those corporations. They're not selling. They might sell a subsidiary or something, but they're not selling. Here we go. Brian P. He's saying it exactly. This is what's happening. Yeah, they're going to do the same thing. This is what's going to happen. This is what they're saying. He's right. This is what's going to happen. No more, no disc, 2028. Exactly. They're not going to let you own this stuff. Games. Exactly. Just down games. Yeah, it's just going to be streaming. Which makes sense. But see, if you're going to do this, that means they need data centers. Good luck, humans. Because data centers, no matter where you are, they're going to put them in all the bad places. All the lower income locations, that's where they're going to put them. So, good luck. All right. This is a great conversation we're having tonight. Hopefully everybody understands where this is going, because if you don't get on the bandwagon and you're not winning, you're going to have to try to win. You're not working for AI. Let's just call it what it is. You are not getting a job. Because if you don't know how to do something to use AI, they don't need you at a job anymore. Especially when it's going to be able to produce video, produce pictures already. It can produce videos already. It thinks faster already. It knows the outcomes and can guess outcomes faster than any group environment ever could. So you guys don't get to have a job getting $100,000 a year, and then say, hey, go brainstorm for 15 minutes. Time's up. AI brainstormed in 2 minutes or less and has a whole protocol of what to do in less than 2 minutes. You ain't going to beat that. And guess what? They didn't have to pay it a room full of people or who's ever in this pod. They didn't have to pay these dudes $500,000-$600,000 a year to make it happen. So you see, it only makes sense that they spend a few $1 million to produce their AI stuff, and now you understand why you're out. You're out. So all I can tell you is good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, December 2027. That's the next time that something's going to come up. Ownership. You better get ownership. Just like how Brian P. was talking about what they're going to do with the games, no disc, streaming only. That's because they own the games. They own the streaming platforms. They can charge you. That's what you need. You need to own IP, trademarks, patents, everything that you can have with ownership, music, publishing, royalties. You need to own stuff. So you have your own catalog in music. You should not be giving it up unless somebody's willing to give you 50 million, $100 million. It's that simple. But if you get a label deal, then oftentimes you don't own your publishing or master. So therefore you're giving that up. And then after whatever happens with your career, they still say we're holding it. And now they get to make money off of putting in the movies and sync license and putting in the games and things like this. And meanwhile, you're sitting there having to go do concerts to get paid. And it might be handsome. You might be getting paid 100,000 per show, but you got to go on the road and work. They're simply getting a phone call and saying, "Oh, you want to use the music in your video? We need a check for $300,000." Okay, we'll send it over next week. Record label. We love this new song that came out. How much are you going to charge us to license this? I need the sync license. You own 100%, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How much? Oh, that'll be $450,000. Okay, we'll send it right over. That's a lot easier than going on a 20-city tour. To get the same money. Just saying. You see where this goes. All right. That ends this conversation tonight. We started this off. AI is winning. You're going to have to get up to it. Corporations are winning because they're going to own the AI and you're going to license it from them and rent it from them. And you're going to have to get on the bandwagon. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind if you don't even know how to use it at all. Because your job is probably going to depend on it in the future. Because there's not 100% of jobs that can do AI. But the point is they're going to need people to know how to use it to come with different outcomes. Because it does matter what question you ask and the knowledge that you have to ask the question. Those things cannot be changed. So therefore, if a person isn't up to your level intellectually and doesn't understand the business on the same level you do, and you're higher than them on the intellectual scale for your business, they're going to be asking questions like a third grader. You're going to be asking questions like a 12th grader. Those two things, that's a difference, that the answers are going to come out differently because you're asking the questions differently. So just remember that. So again, the bulk of jobs are going to be gone that has to do with thinking and correlating and getting information packaged together. AI can do that in less than 2 minutes. And if you pay for AI right now, not only will you have that done in less than 2 minutes, you will have a video done also to package with it to promote the damn product. And several videos, actually. So think about this. Pay a group of people, advertising agency, PR agency, all this money. Or somebody's going to go, well, I'll just pay $40 per month so I can get the same thing, except now I have a video that comes out. I have a storyboard. I can tell it whatever I want. And it's there. In fact, I can tell it whatever I want right now in the free version. I do get pictures. I don't believe I can get video, even though I haven't tried, because I'm not trying to make a video. I should try to make a video this weekend on AI, on the free version, because I'm pretty sure one of the free versions probably allows like a 5-second or 20 or 15-second video. I'm pretty sure. It has to by now. These things have been out almost another year. So there's got to be a free version that does it. So we're going to find out. I'm going to check it out right after we do this. How much fun is that? All right. Here we go. Yep. Game over. Exactly. You got that right. Eric, check out that video when you get time. Yes, I will. I don't know when it will be, but we'll talk about it on Friday, Brian P. Don't worry about it. Just remind me on Friday, so hopefully I'll be in. See if you qualify for Fidelity's 2.5 million data breach settlement and learn how to fight identity. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go down with this. First of all, the reason why all these guys are going to have their servers and everything's going to be breached is very, very simple. In order for these corporations that sit on these data on these servers, The problem is the data is understood. So if you know that the server is holding passwords, then you got to get to the password file. There's only so much you can do with trying to protect your password file, but it has to be interacting with your system. So now what they do is if they can infiltrate either your database, then it's all over. If they can go through an app to get to it, it's all over. If there's several different ways that is easy to get through. So there's going to be a breach. Every company that does this password holding nonsense. All right? So what's going to end up happening is they're going to go to a passkey environment, which is a little bit safer because there's no storage of passwords. But see, they need your, see, they want to keep your password. They want you to be able to come back and, get it redone and redo your password, make it new and this, that, and the other. That's fine. But this day and age, the hackers are even better than they were before. They know what you're going to do. So therefore, the only other thing is you have to give them information that's not really the information. So you have to change up how you're going to do it. But if you change up how you're going to do it, the reason why they're reluctant is because now that changes up how they track you. All right? Just keep this in mind. They're tracking. So when you're doing Facebook, when you're doing Google, when you're doing Apple, and it says, oh, use your Apple, Google, Facebook login to be in here, they're tracking you. Do you understand? They're keeping that information going. Oh, looky here. This person's this age. This person's likes this. He logged into here. That means we can advertise there. It's all about advertising money. It's not about nothing else. They just care about how they're going to rent you something and how they can get your information. That's it. They sell it. And what you guys don't understand is it's not $10. You get CPMs, $10, $25, $5, $1, right? If you're an influencer, you get these little weak ass CPMs, right? What you don't know is nobody can fathom, which I've talked about before, is that they're sitting out here charging advertising agencies. They're charging anybody that wants this information to find out about if you're between the age of 30 and 40. What are people buying the most and what are they clicking on to make it happen? All that is worth billions. So if you knew people were paying $100,000 per month, I'm talking about corporations as people, $100,000 per month to get the latest information. And if you found out some are even paying $150,000 and some are paying $200,000, do you understand where the money is? Do you really think they're going to care about selling you $3? Yeah, we want $3 monthly from you. When that one offshoot thing that I just told you about, 100, 200,000, 150,000 per month across 300, 400, 500 industries. Start doing the math. And when you sit there and use that, oh, I'm with Facebook, I'm going to use my login for another website, that's fine. You don't get paid nothing. But all your stuff is tracked. Oh, really? This person, we thought they liked Rise Coffee. That's nice. Now they're going into a supplement warehouse to go try and buy something. That's nice. Now they're logging in at Panera. Okay, healthy eater. Cool. All this is trackable. How much are they spending in the last month? Oh, wait, they spent $5,000. Oh my, we want that customer. We got to get advertising in front of them. Where did they go? They go to these sites. Ooh, hey, how many people went to this site that's in this tier? 30 to 40 has probably like a $200,000 a year salary. Primetime target audience. You know how much that's worth? You see where this goes, ladies and gentlemen? All right, ownership. AI helps, but you're going to have to put it all together. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Joe Nay's in the house. That place, I believe it's Blue Marlin in Los Corrales, is finally up. Looks like delivery in September and October. That's a noisy area. It's Blue Marlin if what you're talking about next to the international or yeah, international plazas close by. Yeah, it's bouncing. All I can only imagine the way the buildings are all turned like this way and then sideways and then you got a park in there. Yeah, I would imagine all that concrete. There's going to be a lot of people in there, but the problem is, man, we got people here. One person that bought Blue Marlin who was supposed to have he bought 2 units. I'll give you an example. Let's say his units were 205 and 207. And he was supposed to be on the north side. So when the sun comes up, he gets the early sun, but then later on in the day, the sun goes down, so it's cooler on the south side. All of a sudden, they said, oh, we're not going to give you those, not your units. We're going to give you units on the other side and face the south side, which now means that's a hotter unit. Because once you get up to around 10 a.m., you have sun all day, all throughout sunset on the south side. So they're saying that's what's going to be delivered, take it or leave it or something like that. I don't know what the outcome is yet. But of course, attorney has to be activated. But that's what they're trying to say. This is your unit in a whole nother section, 205, 207 on the south side. We're not giving you your units that you purchased under contract. Crazy work. This is why things are going like they're going to end up going in the DR. Because those people who get theirs delivered or not are going to tell people, well, this is what and what else is going to happen? Like I just say, this is not rocket science. If I buy something for $170,000, which is what a 1-bedroom was going for 2 years ago in Los Corrales, and right now I can go online and find people in Los Corrales doing 7 nights for $450, $500. That is a problem. How many months of this? I don't know, but it's going to be the next 3, 4 months, 5 months for sure. And the occupancy rate's going to be low. That does not meet anybody's criteria, especially if we're talking about 30%. If 100% is 30 days, 30% is 9 days. $500 a month is not going to cut it. If you have a 500 square foot and you're paying $150, you're making $450. Now, here's the problem. You're making $550, let's say $600. And now let's just say you have a 25% management fee. A fourth is gone. So now you're down to $450. You pay $150 in HOAs. Now you're down to $300. $300 a month's not going to cut it, ladies and gentlemen. $170,000 and you make on average 4-5 G's a year with risk. If a hurricane comes through, if earthquake happened, that's with risk. Or there's a downturn in the economy and now people aren't even coming at all. And you can't even get $300 per month. Or even if you do get $300 per month, all it takes is, I don't know, a refrigerator going out or windows broken or AC unit needs repair. That's wiped out. You see where this goes if you can't get but 30% occupancy? It's not going to be a pretty picture. And this is why I say you'll be able to get you're going to be able to get property sooner or later, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be that hard. Okay, Cash App owner accused of failing to protect users agrees to 45M settlement. That's correct. Again, the hackers are out here. The hackers can hack through anything. And especially when you leave yourself vulnerable to running databases and you leave yourself vulnerable to having passports or passwords, you leave yourself vulnerable because other people have older phones, so you can actually route through there to their system. Because remember, these are nothing but surveillance equipment for the people that sell the phones and surveillance equipment for those that have software on the phone and the apps on your phone. You see where this goes? That's why there's a breach. Because all this, you can breach each one separately Or if they're all on the same devices, you can go to each one and go try them out if the person is logged in. So, or not even logged in. So just keep that in mind. So yes, there's hundreds, thousands of companies around the world that have a settlement. So Cash App's no different. They don't use any secure operate. See, they don't want to, because the first time you can't track anybody, that means they can't charge fees. See, this is where this goes. If I can't track you from what you do with your buying money, your disposable income, if I can't track you, then I can't charge these guys 50,000 a month, 75,000 a month, 100,000 per month. Do you understand? It's not in their best interest to make it full, to block the hackers. All right? Because they say, well, we'll settle for the 45 million. Because you guys don't understand, we're making hundreds of billions. So do you really think we care about 45 million? No. A billion is 1,000 bags. 1,000 duffel bags of cash of $1 million is $1 billion. You really gonna care if I give out 50 million? I still have 951 million duffel bags of cash left. This is nothing but a little slap on the wrist like a frickin' $5. Come on. Come on. This is insane. Now, if they said something to the tune of that'll be 450 million settlement, now all of a sudden that would change the game. But they're never going to do that. It's always going to be this BS, 45 million here, 10 million there, 25 million there. These companies that make hundreds of millions of dollars, they're not going to care about that. It's not in their best interest to. Guys getting the picture yet? Good luck out here. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I got to run. Just make sure you guys understand the assignments. You're going to have 5 months left. 775 credit score, you can still do it. Bank account outside the United States, you can still do it. Or get Bankus. I put a Bankus link in there and down below in the description box all over the internet. You guys can see it. And the chat room box on replay as well. And real estate or a business. Tim Smith, very nice to see you once again. Long time no see, but I see you on the other platform and Instagram. Once again, make sure you have real estate business outside the U.S. and you have a bank account outside the U.S. And by the way, the Bankus, if you guys see that in the chat room, Bankus is in Mexico City. That's outside of the United States jurisdiction. Just so you know. I like outside the United States jurisdiction in this day and age. All of you should be very, very leery of a country that's spending trillions of dollars per year, but not to help the American citizens. And we're already 40 trillion in debt, but they're spending 2 trillion and you still have to print more money, which is going to cause inflation. So when somebody comes on the TV screen and says some nonsense like, oh, inflation went down over the previous month, they're lying. And furthermore, inflation 3.4, 4.2, whatever it is, that's a lie in itself. It's over 10% every year. Let's just get real. So as long as you believe that nonsense and then you base it on, hey boss, I need that 3% raise just to stay level. Instead of telling boss, hey boss, I need a 12% raise just to stay level. You see how this works? Because you're not going to say, I need 12%. Because they're going to look at you, have you lost your mind? Inflation's only 3% and we're going to give you a 2% cost of living increase anyhow. But see, that's the problem. You have lost your mind because you're willing to go work somewhere knowing full well inflation is not no 3%. See? And you're willing to keep doing it. You better get some assets. You better get some ownership. You better start thinking a different way that you need to rent something. Okay? We're going to wrap this up. I got to run. I appreciate everybody being here this evening. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support after all these years. I'm going to be here on Friday night. Hopefully, I'm going to be on time. It's disrespectful, really, when I'm a little bit late, but hopefully, you guys forgive me and be here at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. I may have some new news because actually, I have some work to do. It's going to be very interesting how it all plays out. I'm going to be on a little road trip tomorrow to go check out something. I'm going to find this very, very fascinating because I'm actually just going to be hobbling around the spot like a tourist trying to get some information. But really, I'm looking for some other information until I can talk about it later. But again, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, I know it's hard out here. Hopefully, you know it's hard out here. There's no reason that you should think that prices are going to go down significantly. There's no way prices are going to go down 30%, 20%, 10%. Not going to happen. And if you're basing everything on gas prices, I feel sorry for you because gas prices is just one little tiny fraction of what you need to be concerned with. You need to be concerned with the overall is what's my insurance? What's my property taxes? You need the whole gamut. What's my car insurance? What's my property insurance? What's my liabilities? You need to know the whole gamut. You can't be doing this, oh, my gas went down $1. So what? Everything else went up 10x. What are you talking about right now? Who cares about $1 when I'm only putting 20 gallons or less in the car, so I save myself $20? Big deal. When I go to the grocery store, I'm buying 2 bags of groceries and it's over $100. I mean, seriously. My property tax bill comes. It's wait, what is this? An extra 10% over last year? How? I'm paying unrealized capital gains tax. The property didn't go up 10%. Why has my property taxes gone up 10%? I didn't sell it. It's still the same. Again, this is one of my pet peeves, ladies and gentlemen, because I find it very fascinating that we have people that own property, realize they pay unrealized tax gains, and soon as they say, we need to do this to the rich, everybody goes, no. Not everybody. A lot of people go, no. I'm sitting there going, homeowners, you do. Insurance buyers, you do. Remember, you have to insure your house based on a certain value. So now your insurance goes up because it costs more to replace your house. So you're paying unrealized capital gains all over the place. But you're like, no, don't tax the rich, guys. They're going to do something like what? Not hire people? That's where it's already going, ladies and gentlemen. They ain't trying to hire people. AI is here. They're winning. Corporations are going to win. You're going to lose. You better be in on the game yourself. Assets, intellectual property, trademarks, patents, copyright, and you control it under your name. Don't make no partnership deals. Simple. Go that route because that will be able to go a long way, especially if you can replicate it and keep adding more intellectual property, adding more copyrights, adding more patents, adding more websites. All that is what's going to happen. That's real estate that nobody can take away from you. Are you getting the picture yet? Hopefully I explained this. Maybe in the replay, people have comments down below. I check the comments. I want to hear from you guys. Chat room comments as well. I hear from you guys. Let's go. Let's have a conversation. We got to get you guys back up to the level that you should be at. You've already been ahead of the level the whole time, but now we're on a whole nother thing now. We got to get you guys to another level. So you better take this seriously because you're going to be left behind. Just so you understand. And this time left behind means before you could be left behind, but you can get a job and work. Now you may not have a job. And if you're left behind with social medias, you're left behind with computers and tablets and cell phones and this intellectual property chase, trademark chase, patent pending trace, all this stuff, all these chases, these all are coming to a head. It's either you're going to own it or the top 500 Fortune 500 companies around the world, which top 500 is here. But the top, let's say 25,000 companies, around the world are going to be controlling a whole bunch of things. So hopefully you start getting your little niche in here and there, because you want to be able to license stuff. You want to be able to have somebody call you up and say, can we use this in a whatever, in a catalog, in a movie, can we use this in something? And then you get to charge them. Content is going to be king, but you better own it. Everybody that's watching this on these platforms right now, even though I do own the content per se, the fact that I put it on the other platforms, they now own the content too. I give them the license. I give them the ownership on their platform. They own it. I can't stop them. Nor can I sit up there and say, hey, yo, can I get 70%? Sorry, Eric. We're keeping 70%. We'll give you 30. You do realize we don't have to give you anything because it's our platform. You said by putting your video on our platform that you're going to get a little piece of some money. We never said you owned it on our platform. We own it on our platform. Now, if you don't want us to put your video out, then fine. Demonetize, please. And delete your videos. See, ladies and gentlemen, how it works. Not rocket science. Well, be safe out here until Friday and every day. Thank the stars above. Thank your Savior that you're breathing another day. Because once again, it's going to get harder out here in America and the rest of the world. America's not the only country that's going to be in a stranglehold. The rest of the world is also going to be in a stranglehold if this goes sideways. Well, it's going to go sideways. I'm just going to tell you right now, if you don't have assets, it's game over for you. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Just make sure no matter what you do out here, be safe, keep your family safe, watch your backgrounds, watch your foregrounds, watch how people are acting around you, and above all, stay safe and keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.